Have you noticed that constipation seems to become a bigger challenge once you cross into your 70s? What may feel like just a small inconvenience can, over time, quietly rob older adults of their comfort, energy, and even a sense of independence. Some people in their 70s and 80s continue to enjoy smooth digestion and a light, easy feeling throughout their days, while others constantly deal with bloating, straining, and the nagging discomfort that seems to arrive more often with age. The difference between these two groups isn't luck, nor is it expensive prescriptions. It often comes down to simple, everyday foods and drinks that naturally bring the digestive system back into balance. Doctors and researchers alike have seen that certain choices, especially those rich in fiber, hydration, and gut-nourishing nutrients, can make all the difference. Today, we're going to look at 6 foods and drinks that have been proven to ease constipation in seniors, with results so effective that nearly 99% of cases improve when these habits are used consistently. These aren't fads or complicated diets. They're real patterns observed in people who remain healthy, vibrant, and active well into later life. By the end, you'll know exactly which items to include in your daily routine and how they can help you feel lighter, stronger, and more confident. Be sure to stay with me until the very end, because the final item on this list may surprise you with just how powerful it really is. Let's start with one of the most effective natural remedies for constipation after 70, something you might already have sitting in your fruit bowl: dried fruits, especially prunes. What makes them so effective is the mix of dietary fiber and natural sorbitol, which supports healthy digestion and makes things move more comfortably. To bring this to life, imagine 2 women in their early 80s, Margaret and Helen. Margaret makes a point of beginning her mornings with a few prunes or by mixing a handful of raisins into her oatmeal. She notices her digestion stays smooth, her stomach feels lighter, and she no longer dreads the trip to the bathroom. Helen, however, has moved away from fresh fruits because she finds packaged meals quicker and easier. Over time, she struggles with constipation more often, feels sluggish, and deals with the discomfort of days passing without relief. The difference between these 2 women isn't their age, it's their choice of food. By including fiber-rich dried fruits like prunes, figs, or raisins, the bowels keep moving naturally. Research shows that the insoluble fiber in these fruits helps everything move along more smoothly, while sorbitol provides the body with a gentle boost when needed, making them especially valuable for older adults. If you find yourself straining or noticing that you're going fewer than 3 times a week, ask yourself, are you actually including prunes, figs, or raisins in your diet? The encouraging news is that you don't need much. Just a small serving of 4 to 6 prunes a day can create a noticeable difference. You can even add chopped dried apricots or figs into yogurt, salads, or cereals for a bit of variety. And if chewing them feels tough, simply soaking the fruit in warm water softens the texture and makes it much easier to enjoy. For many seniors, this single daily habit can transform constipation from a painful problem into something easily managed, no medication required. Another food group that can dramatically improve digestion after 70 is oats and other whole grains. These grains are packed with both soluble fiber, like beta-glucan, and insoluble fiber. Together, they bulk up the stool and help it pass more smoothly through the digestive system. Picture 2 men in their 70s, Frank and Walter. Frank starts most mornings with a bowl of oatmeal topped with berries or perhaps a sprinkle of flaxseed. As a result, his digestion stays steady, he feels satisfied, and constipation rarely troubles him. Walter, on the other hand, reaches for white bread and refined cereals, foods that have been stripped of fiber. Over the years, he begins to notice more irregular bowel habits, increased bloating, and more straining, leaving him exhausted and frustrated. Again, the difference isn't their age, it's their food choices. The fiber in oats and other whole grains works like a sponge, absorbing water and helping digestion stay smooth and steady. Studies have consistently shown that seniors who include at least 1 serving of whole grains each day not only enjoy smoother digestion, but also benefit from stronger cardiovascular health. So it's worth asking yourself, when you sit down for a meal, are you reaching for white rice and white bread, or are you giving your body the nourishment of oatmeal, barley, and whole wheat? The encouraging thing is that even small adjustments in what you eat can bring noticeable relief fairly quickly. For instance, swap out just one refined grain each day for a whole grain. Maybe start the morning with oatmeal, enjoy brown rice with lunch, or use whole wheat bread at dinner. Even popcorn, as long as it's not drowned in butter or heavy oils, counts as a whole grain snack that helps keep digestion moving smoothly. By weaving these choices into your daily meals, you're not only making life easier on your digestive system, but also strengthening your overall health in ways that support your energy, independence, and quality of life as you age. If you're finding this information useful so far, drop a number 2 in the comments to let me know you're still with me. And if you haven't already, I'd recommend hitting that subscribe button and turning on notifications. Your support makes it possible for us to keep creating helpful content to inform and inspire. Now, let's talk about one of the most underrated natural remedies for constipation: leafy greens. Vegetables like spinach, kale, and collard greens are packed with 2 key nutrients, fiber and magnesium, that work hand in hand to relax the colon and encourage smoother, more regular bowel movements. To illustrate this, picture 2 women in their 70s, Clara and Evelyn. Clara makes a habit of including vegetables with her meals, maybe a small salad at lunch or some sautéed spinach with dinner. As a result, she enjoys lighter digestion, less heaviness in her stomach, and regularity without strain. Evelyn, on the other hand, tends to fill her plate with meat and starchy foods, pushing vegetables aside. Over time, she experiences constipation more frequently, along with bloating and the kind of discomfort that keeps her restless at night. The takeaway here is simple: age isn't the culprit, it's the absence of greens. Science confirms that the fiber in leafy greens supports digestive flow, while magnesium helps the body stay hydrated and makes digestion feel easier and more natural. If you often find yourself straining, ask, how many leafy greens are you actually eating each day? The encouraging part is you don't need a huge amount. Just 1 or 2 servings, like a side salad, a bowl of steamed kale, or even tossing spinach into a smoothie, can make a big difference. If chewing is tricky, lightly steaming or sautéing greens makes them softer and easier to enjoy. By consistently adding these vegetables into your meals, you're giving your body the tools it needs to stay regular, energized, and comfortable, while also taking control of your health in a way that preserves strength and independence for the years to come. Another powerful, yet often overlooked, way to tackle constipation after 70 is by eating fermented foods such as yogurt, kefir, or sauerkraut. These foods are loaded with probiotics, the beneficial bacteria that keep your gut microbiome balanced and active. Let's imagine 2 men in their early 80s, Leonard and Arthur. Leonard makes sure to include a daily serving of yogurt or kefir, and as a result, his digestion stays steady. He feels less bloated, and constipation is rarely an issue. Arthur, by contrast, isn't a fan of dairy and often skips foods that nourish gut health. Over time, his digestion becomes less predictable, discomfort increases, and he finds himself turning to laxatives more often just to get relief. Once again, the deciding factor isn't age, it's the presence of probiotics. Researchers have found that seniors who regularly include fermented foods not only enjoy more reliable bowel movements, but also benefit from stronger immune systems and more stable gut bacteria overall. If you're wondering about your own habits, ask yourself, when was the last time you had yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, or even kimchi? The best part is you don't need much. Just a small serving each day is enough to make a difference. Go for plain yogurt with live cultures, sip on a glass of kefir, or add a spoonful of sauerkraut to your meal. And if dairy doesn't sit well with you, there are plenty of plant-based options like coconut yogurt or fermented soy products that also provide probiotics. These foods are gentle, natural, and highly effective at supporting digestion, helping you stay comfortable without relying on harsh treatments. By making fermented foods a daily habit, you're giving your body a steady boost that safeguards both your comfort and your independence. If you're finding these insights helpful, please comment number 4 below so I know you're following along. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss upcoming content. Your support makes it possible for us to keep creating videos that inform and inspire. One of the most reliable ways to ease constipation after 70 is by adding specific seeds and nuts, like flax seeds, chia seeds, and almonds, into your diet. These foods deliver a powerful mix of soluble fiber and healthy fats that naturally help the intestines move more smoothly. Think of two men in their 70s, Harold and Raymond. Harold starts his morning with oatmeal sprinkled with ground flax seeds and sometimes stirs chia seeds into his water. In the afternoon, he enjoys a small handful of almonds. His digestion stays steady, his belly feels lighter, and constipation rarely troubles him. Raymond, on the other hand, avoids seeds and nuts because he thinks they're too hard to chew or too high in calories. Over time, his digestion slows, bloating becomes more frequent, and constipation steals away his comfort. The difference between them lies not in their age, but in their daily choices. Science explains why flax and chia seeds absorb water and create a gel-like texture that helps keep digestion smooth and comfortable. Almonds add both fiber and healthy fats that keep the bowels moving. And the good news is you don't need much. Just 1 tablespoon of ground flax, a spoonful of chia seeds soaked in water, or a small handful of almonds each day can make a big difference. If chewing is difficult, ground or soaked seeds are easier to digest, but just as effective. By making these simple seeds and nuts part of your diet, you can ease constipation naturally while also supporting heart health and maintaining the steady energy you need to stay active and independent. Another often overlooked, but incredibly powerful, way to prevent constipation after 70 is through hydration. Simple drinks like water, herbal teas, and even small servings of fruit juices such as pear or apple juice can make all the difference. Staying well hydrated keeps your system balanced and makes digestion feel easier and less stressful, something that becomes increasingly important as the body naturally loses some of its thirst signals with age. Imagine 2 women in their 80s, Irene and Mildred. Irene makes it a habit to drink a glass of water with each meal, enjoys chamomile tea in the evening, and occasionally sips a small glass of pear juice. Her digestion stays smooth, she feels lighter, and constipation rarely interrupts her life. Mildred, however, drinks mostly coffee throughout the day and forgets to replenish with water. Over time, her stools become harder, digestion slows, and constipation turns into a regular source of frustration. The difference between them is not age, but hydration. Science shows why. Water and other fluids keep the intestines lubricated. Warm drinks can gently stimulate the bowels, and natural juices provide mild sorbitol that helps ease stool passage. The good news is you don't need extreme amounts. Just 6 to 8 cups of fluids spread across the day is usually enough. Herbal teas like peppermint or chamomile are gentle choices, while small glasses of fruit juice can offer an extra boost. By keeping your body well hydrated, you support not only digestion, but also your circulation, energy, and overall comfort. If you're finding these insights valuable, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss our next piece of content. Now that you know these 6 foods and drinks, take a moment to reflect on where you stand. Constipation after 70 isn't just an inconvenience. It can affect your energy, your mood, and even your confidence in living independently. The encouraging truth is that most of these struggles can be eased with small daily choices: prunes and dried fruits for natural sorbitol, oats and whole grains for steady fiber, leafy greens for magnesium and bulk, fermented foods for gut balance, flax seeds, chia seeds, and almonds for fiber and healthy fats, and hydration through water, teas, and natural juices. All of these steps are simple, affordable, and within your reach. None require expensive treatments or complicated routines, just steady habits that bring comfort and health over time. So ask yourself, which of these 6 areas could you strengthen in your own life? The good news is that you can begin today. Even one change, a handful of prunes or an extra glass of water, can shift your digestion and give you back a sense of control. Over the weeks and months ahead, these small adjustments can restore regularity, reduce strain, and protect the quality of your daily life. Your comfort in the future is not fixed in stone. Your choices today matter more than you might realize. By embracing these natural remedies, you can stay lighter, stronger, and more confident in your own body without fear or embarrassment. Thank you for spending this time with us. We'd love to hear from you. Please leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Reading your comments gives us encouragement and motivation to keep going. If you enjoyed this content, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating content to inform and inspire you. Thanks again for being here, and we look forward to connecting with you in the next video.